Let's get to Jacqui Lambie for her thoughts on a few big backflips by the coalition today. Jacqui, your thoughts on the U-turn, on work from home, and also the cuts to the public service that will now not be forced.
Oh, sorry, Pete, I was just waking up. God, my Lord, that was a long 15 minutes, baby. I tell you. Okay, so what are we talking about the public servant cuts? Sorry, what was your question?
I don't know. What did I ask? Work from...
We've still got 4 weeks to go.
I think he got me as well. Anyway, on work from home, first of all, so obviously the coalition was against it. Now it's for it. Let's start there and then we'll get to the public service cuts.
Look, I think that's been a very wise backstep. I think that's very good. Look, you can look at it. They've come to their common senses. That's great. There is a lot of people. Childcare is a real problem in this country, mate. We just can't get the people to fill those positions. More women want to be back at work. You know, I've got a couple of them in my office. I have to say, for most of us, it's worked very well if they're just working 2 or 3 days and then, you know, spending some time at work and doing it of a night time around their kids and stuff like that. For me, it's worked fantastic, and I've got mothers out there who can spend some more time with their children. So I think this is a great thing that Peter Dutton's back down on that.
Okay, so that's what I was going to get to. I mean, the politics of it all is that, you know, was this actually properly thought out in the first place? You're not so fussed about that. You're more pleased that he's come around to his senses.
Good on him for seeing it and hearing what's going on the ground, for having the courage to say, "I've got this wrong. We're going to move back from it." You know, you can't go at anyone for that.
And what about the cuts to the public service? Now it's not going to be forced. It's kind of going to be gradual. You know, as people retire, etc.
Look, Pete, I've got a real problem with this because your biggest cuts are going to come from social services, the NDIS, things like Veterans Affairs, which is a real issue.
But there's never anything frontline though. The coalition has said that a few times.
You know, where are you going to cut those public servants from, mate? And the other thing is you're not looking at Canberra. I mean, they're looking at the rural and regional areas. There's so much instability out there. The last thing we need doing is public servants out there worrying whether or not they're going to be able to pay their house payments in a month's time. Seriously, this is not a time to be doing that. We went through consultancies. We did that for 9 years with the Liberal Party, and every time we went to estimates, it was like, that's got nothing to do with that. That's consultants. You know, enough of that. These people need to be held accountable, and those public servants are held accountable every which way loose. And right now, I think that's working well. Just
a final one. I mean, Anthony Albanese, he likes to talk about kicking with the wind in the final quarter. I mean, he's had this backflip from the coalition today, which energises the Labor campaign. You got News Poll out today, which is showing more and more support for Anthony Albanese. I mean, are you noticing a trend in a certain direction here?
Not exactly. It's pretty normal. But I'll tell you what would help him if he actually done something for small business. Now, COSBOA is screaming, absolutely screaming for those businesses, $20 million and under, you know, to go from that tax rate cut from 25% to 20%. I'm telling you, mate, they don't need to go to 20%. They need 15%. For God's sake, sunset it. Sunset it for 2 years. Yeah. But give these businesses some slack. If you want that more votes and you want to secure it in, then, oh, my God, do something for small business because they're on their bloody hands and knees, Pete. Yeah. Absolutely on their hands and knees.
No, we spoke about this last week and I was for that too. Should at least be talked about, you know.
Yeah, in the business, they promised us, David Pocock and I, to go from 15 to 25. That was the definition of business. They didn't get that done. They lied to us. Now, get it done, for God's sake. When we get straight back up there, we need to move these two things now to save small business. Shops shutting everywhere, mate.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Jacqui. Good to chat.
Thanks
Talk to you
so
soon.
much.